here on Deck on PGTV. Loved our conversation that we just had with Trent O'Malley. Let's take it up in age group. 2027 grad now, Preston Ricchini on the show. Preston, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
First of all, I mean, we were kind of joking about it, like, off air a little bit. We love your name, Ricchini. Like, I want to just, like, go like this every time I say it. Are you Italian or what?
Yes,
what
I
background?
actually am Italian. My mom's side, or my dad's side is actually all from, like, the Italy area and stuff. So, yeah, a lot of people with my name, they mess it up, but a lot of people can tell it's Italian, yeah.
Yeah. What's the go-to dish?
Myself, I'm not really that big of an Italian person, actually.
Oh, way.
Yeah.
What are your parents think about that?
You know, my dad isn't honestly either. My mom, you know, she likes Italian food, and same with my sister, but my dad and I are more like chicken or steak or,
Okay.
you know.
There we go. Love it, love it. Do you have a Sunday dinner with any type of macaroni or anything like that, or no?
I actually don't.
No. Okay. You're embracing the American spirit of some steak, some burgers, pizza,
Protein.
Everything. Yep.
There we go. Nah, good stuff, man. Well, look, you've obviously performed really well. You've been working at the game of baseball for a while now, and this past year, the All-American Games, it seemed like a really cool experience for you to be a part of. What can you tell me about that experience and just being with the guys there and making some new friends?
I thought it was an awesome experience from top to bottom. Just like going there, seeing the school, like incredible school by the way, and the campus, everything was nice. The field was nice, and just the way like that perfect game like helped like run the event and stuff. I like how they split up the teams, and like there was just on each team there was about a kid from any state you could think of. So you were able to like really like talk with them and learn some new things, and then it was really easy to just become friends with them because you could relate to them because you play the same sport, and it was just a great time.
That's a wild thing about baseball too. It's tough to realize when you're really young growing up that there's so many great players from all over the country, but once you have the opportunity to go ahead and play in some type of environment where you have kids who are playing in all different parts of the country and even the world, but you're meeting players, you're making new friends who might be from the same state as you, or maybe they're from the other side of the country. So would you say that some of those friends that you made were people who might not be in your local area or even the next state over, but maybe some states farther away, and you're able to just connect with them and now see each other on social?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things, like my friend that was on my old travel team for the summer, I went with him to start. But then once I was there, we actually like obviously we're friends, but like we were split up during it that sometimes. So I was able to talk to some new people, and I actually met this kid that lives in Chicago. And my dad actually became pretty close with him, and they talk now every like few times a week actually on the phone. And it was just great to see. I connected with a lot of people on Instagram after the fact from all different states like Texas, Wisconsin. It was just a great experience.
Yeah, I love Chicago. Have you ever been to Chicago?
Yes, I have gone there, yes, for a baseball camp before.
Okay, I love it. I went to school up by Chicago and moving there soon, so I mean, I just have like a very special place in my heart for the city. Kind of a fun question. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? You've been in Texas, you're in Florida now, so where would you pick?
My top 3 states, honestly, would probably be like Texas, California, or Hawaii. Because I've been there quite a bit, like on vacation, like California, Hawaii, but like Texas, like I just always liked it. Like I'm actually into barbecue food a lot, so, and they have some pretty good food down there, so it's always a good experience.
Okay, I love it.
We're going to get to the food question later, so we know the answer won't be Italian food, but we're going to save that question for later on.
All right.
That's great, man. Hey, you also mentioned being around the kids, the teammates, the guys you've met and everything. What has challenged you throughout your experiences so far, the last year or two, as you develop, as you continue to learn the game of baseball and truly understand the intricacies of the game? There are so many little things that you're going to continue to learn well beyond your years playing in high school and in your college years. There are so many things that even big leaguers are still learning. So what does that growth look like for you? What has really challenged you in the recent couple of years?
I would say in the recent couple of years, I definitely had some like injuries like to my hands and stuff, and like that's kind of like set me back a little bit, like put me away from baseball, like, and I'm not like always with my friends, so it's like hard kind of sometimes, but like once you get back into it and like you just can enjoy it, like you realize like how much like baseball like actually can mean to someone, and it's just like a great experience, like with all, like not just even playing the sport, but also like just being around people that you've grown up with and being so close with. And even like when you face problems, like everyone always gets into like a slump or something when you're hitting, or like you get the yips when you're throwing, but like it's always good because you're always around people that can help like boost you up and help you get over the things that you need to get back on the right path. So
Yeah. No, absolutely. The yips are tough, man.
Yeah.
No one loves the yips, and that's a scary place to be in.
I know.
No, that's great. Bria, have you ever experienced anything like that where it's kind of like a mental block when you're out there playing a sport?
I can't say that I've had the yips. And like when you have the yips, and I've never had. I'm gonna say it again. I've never had the yips. It's just a fun word to say. But I've definitely had mental blocks like that where you just like go through a period and you're like, I always go back to like when I ran, but it's like when you can't get past a certain time, or like you're not meeting your times that you have before, and like it's so hard mentally too, because there's not a lot that goes into running, right? You're just putting one foot ahead of the other, and like you have your form and stuff, but you're not really thinking. So it's like you're not doing anything different. You're just not that like you're not as fast as you usually are. So no yips, but a lot of frustration when I look down at my watch. God, like why?
I just think of not being able to throw strikes. If
Yeah.
you're a pitcher, you just think of getting in that rhythm of just throwing balls, not really being able to find the zone. And you think of the yips, you think of like really not being able to throw strikes, like chaotic. There's just balls all over the place, bouncing off the walls and the backstop and everything. But even if you're missing by just a few inches and it feels like every pitch is just not executed the way you want to, that could really get on you too, and that could really create some type of mental block. And it's not fun when the coach tells you to throw strikes, starts yelling at the dugout to throw strikes, because that's going to really help, right?
Yeah, not so easy.
No, it's not. It's not. But no, that's great, man. And obviously, I could tell you're a good teammate. I could just tell by our conversation so far. What does it mean to you to be a good quality teammate and be there for your friends, be there for the guys who are beside you in the dugout or out there on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, so basically, I like am used to like helping others like when they're like struggling with baseball and stuff. Like it's a team game. Not everyone's gonna always bring their best performance and stuff. And it's just like good to like encourage them. Like people are gonna have bad games, but your team can still find a way to win the game. Like even if you're having a bad game individually, like you could find a certain thing, like making a good play in the field if you're not like hitting good, or like if you're not fielding good, then you could find a way to get on base, whatever it is. And just like the main goal is obviously win the game and like just encourage your teammates and like make it easiest and like the best way possible.
I think of Derek Jeter when he used to say that he'd rather go 0 for 4 and his team win than go 4 for 4 and the team lose. And that's obviously an important leader type mentality to have in a game like baseball, because it's individualized to a certain degree because you have to perform individually, but then it's a team sport because there are so many different pieces that make up the team unit. Have you had any trouble with that? Has it been tough to really put the team first when you're out there, because you want to succeed, you want to play your part in that, but sometimes you're not going to have the greatest day out there, and maybe your teammates will and you're able to win the game, but maybe you didn't have as big of a part to play in that as you would have liked to. So what's that balance like? How are you able to maybe just be excited for your teammates in a situation like that?
I mean, yeah, obviously everyone's going to have bad games. It's just a part of the game of baseball and stuff. And once you get used to it and stuff, you just know that like the main goal like isn't like you always succeeding. It's about helping the team succeed. And everyone that plays baseball knows that in order to win, there's gonna be some people on your team that have bad games. Like not your whole team isn't gonna have a good game most of the time. Usually, like maybe like a few kids on the team will have a good game, and a few won't. But at the end of the day, as long as each person's contributing in some fashion, whether it's just like boosting each other's courage up or whatever it is, like making plays, doing whatever, as like that's the main goal.
Yeah. I'm thinking back to a conversation I had earlier today, and it was Nija Kennedy who received $1.2 million in NIL in softball, the highest paid collegiate athlete by NIL Collective so far. She was the national reigning player of the year, like all of these things. And she told us today she has been pitching for the last 2 years, and she's going to hit again for the first time in college. And she told us that she, at one point when she was starting to hit again, was like, is softball even for me? Like, is softball, like, is this even the right thing for me to do? Like, how can I even do this? Like, having, like, that self-doubt. And it was, like, really, like, interesting for me to hear that from someone that's so elite, like the best of the best in college softball right now, getting $1 million, and she's like, I have this self-doubt. So I want to hear about maybe like what you do when you have self-doubt, or kind of any of those times. And we've talked about the yips. We've talked about, maybe when you don't have an individual good day. But overall, what's that mental talk like, and what's it like when that self-doubt kind of starts to creep in a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, with baseball, the good thing is that you play so many games that even if you have a bad game and stuff, that you're going to have a chance to, like, get back at it tomorrow and stuff. So with doubt, even if, like, you're doubting yourself, like, because you've had bad games, you just need to, like, make sure, like, to just focus on, like, whatever, like, that can help you, like, get through the situation. And, like, basically, like, I know I've said this already, but, like, just helping your team win is the main goal. So as long as, like, you have to have faith that you're gonna, like, perform well, and that as long as your teammates believe in you, then usually it's gonna be all good.
Yeah. Do you have any part of your routine before, like, a game or a showcase, or anything that you always do to kind of reset yourself and know, like, anything that you do during the day before you go play baseball?
I mean, usually I just go out there and just, like, try to have fun, because that's usually when you perform the best, when you're, like, hanging around with your friends and just enjoying the moment. That's what I've got from so far. That's what I've learned.
Cool. Good stuff, man. I think it's time for some rapid fire. Bria, should we hit him with that?
I think this is my favorite set of questions so far,
Let's go.
I think.
We love it. We love it. Let's hit him with it. First one, if you could only watch one TV show for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
I would probably say Outer Banks, because I've actually watched it, like, when it first came out in season 1, because my sister got me into it. And ever since then, I've just really been, like, interested in it. I've seen it on, like, social media, like, when it's about to come out and stuff, and, like, I always just, like, get excited before it comes out. And not that long ago, I finished all, like, the 4 seasons of it, and I actually went back and rewatched all 4 seasons in a span of, like, 3 or 4 days. I was just watching episode after episode on my couch, and it was just, I just enjoy the show a lot, because a lot of the characters are
What's
easy
your take? What's your take on the last season of it? Because I know it's tough to live up to the first storyline that they originally had, but what's your take on this last one?
I like that season, but it's definitely not my favorite. I kind of liked season 1 or 2 the most, but I didn't like how, like, they made one of the characters have to, like, die in the end, because that was, like, a fan favorite character and stuff. But
Yeah.
Way to avoid spoilers. That was good.
Yeah, that was
No
pretty smooth.
naming names. That was good.
No, you can't spoil it for the crowd. They might be watching the show or might want to watch it now. Definitely a good show. Definitely a good show. They're searching for Blackbeard's treasure. So
Yep.
you gotta check that out. All right, next one. If you had to eat one type of cuisine, we know it's not gonna be Italian, because even though you're Italian, you don't like Italian food. But if it's another one, like a Mexican or Chinese, whatever it is there one that you have in mind that is your go-to?
Honestly, I like Chinese food a lot. Actually,
Yeah.
I actually go to PF Chang's, if you know what that's called, if you know where that is and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that a lot. I've just like always. There's one like 20 minutes away from me, and I've just grown up on it. Sometimes I even go there like once every week if I'm in the mood. So
Yeah. I need to hear both of your go-to Chinese food. If you had to pick something that you get on the menu each time that you have to get, it's a no-brainer. Which one is it? What are you getting usually?
Probably orange chicken.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
There we
Yeah.
go. Bria, what about you?
I love a good like sesame chicken with like lo mein on the side with like a nice egg roll, or like I love dumplings. Like I don't know what it is about it, but I love a good like shrimp dumpling, pork dumpling, whatever it is. Like, oh, I love it. I can
That's
have one
good
right
stuff.
now.
The place by me, they have something called the poo-poo platter, and it's like a, it's like a little I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a little fire that's in this thing, and then you take the stick and you kind of like roast it yourself, and they have chicken and like steak and stuff like that. But I haven't had the poo-poo platter in a while. I should probably go back there and get it. It's pretty good. But but that's after I have the wonton soup, egg roll, pork fried rice usually. So, no, I have a nice little buffet or smorgasbord of Chinese food. So
Yeah.
we love that. We love talking about food on here. We always get carried away with the food.
Always do.
But we'll get to the next one. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning to get started with your day and to prepare yourself for what's to come during the day?
Usually, I'm not the most like, but when I wake up, usually like I just like want to go back to bed straight away immediately, and like on a school day, I would say before like right when I wake up, the first thing I do is I probably go on my phone and watch TikTok or like look at Instagram or just,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see.
I know, yep.
By the time this episode drops, we'll probably have an
We'll
answer.
know. We'll know.
No, it's terrible. But the last one I got here, if you could instantly master any skill or talent, what would it be?
Whew, that's a tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
Any skill. Probably. I don't know. This is just a random one. Maybe like be able to like predict the scores of a game or something. Like in football, basketball, or baseball. Because I'm a big sports guy, so I'm always watching whatever's on. Because that's like I don't know. It's just entertaining to me. So.
Yeah,
One of my
people
favorite
want to get
things
the
to do.
odds from you on the game. You could make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
No, good stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Billy, you skipped over my favorite one.
Yeah, so I swapped two of them, and I ended up not asking one of them, and I asked the one that I didn't ask the first kid in this one. So should we
All right,
ask the
well,
one that you like? I could ask it.
I'll ask the one.
could ask
I'll ask it.
You could
All
ask
right. What is one book or movie that has influenced you the most in your life? Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not actually that big of a reader, but
One day you will be. One day.
yeah, one day. I do my summer reading for school and all it quits.
Yeah.
But one of the books I actually read last school year, because we had to read a book, we were able to pick any book. It was actually a book by Tim Tebow. I actually did forget what it's called, but it has a lot of life lessons in it that like just like teaches you like about how to handle certain situations, and it just like talks about like his story with like his foundations and stuff, and I just like thought that book was a pretty good book. So
Oh, I just looked it up, and he's released 3 books, which I did not know. So good for him.
I've read 2 of those so far, but
Okay.
Gotta check it
Yeah.
out.
All right. Good to know. I still couldn't really think of mine. The one that I gave as an example, I didn't finish reading, so I have to think of something better.
Like, it's a great book. And then she's like, yeah, I'm on page 30.
Yeah. Like last year. But maybe by next episode I'll finish it. I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Preston. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me again.
Awesome. Love it. Love these conversations that we've had. Trent O'Malley on the first half, Preston Ricchini on the second half. We'll see you next week on Deck.